Needless to say, back to Cameron. Cameron was quite involved, and he would piecemeal information to me as he did his little detective work as well. And the information he would piecemeal to me did direct me at certain players in the story, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a deliberate piecemealing of information. Now, at the end of September, he had left the Yandere Simulator project, right?
Again, what I miss. So apparently the guy that I interviewed before may or may not be a rapist. And I'm just going to take a look at this. So we'll
Cameron
see. Okay?
knowingly withheld this information till an opportune time presented itself, or he sent it to the cops once he learned about it, and then, regardless, still met up with the minor that was being groomed, which would only complicate a federal case anyway, so it doesn't really help whether or not he sent it to the police because he was so involved. I'm jumping ahead a little bit. Yes, Cameron met up with the minor, Jelly, in question. All of this suspicion, by the way, is compounded by Cameron having been an active participant in the Yandere dev drama for about 5 years or so. Jesus. Now, Cameron, as a teenager, was accused of doctoring screenshots and old...
He is 20? Yeah, I know.
Dramas, running defense for Yandere dev, sometimes regarding people who dev threatened or bullied for their mental health. As a teenager, he'd insert himself in overly complicated pedophile dramas, not once, but twice. Once regarding a person called Sisef, who accused Dev of grooming her while Cameron ran defense in a video. Cameron's opinions on this have changed, though, from our conversations. He was also involved having conversations about Dr. Apis. This is another person that is just completely deplorable, right? But the way that Cameron works is if a position is completely untenable, Cameron will cave. But he'll sure as hell take the long way around to get there. Now, admittedly, he was a teenager when most of that stuff happened. But the problem is that this continues till adulthood, and frankly, in my opinion, it's a pattern. Okay, so withholding the CSAM masturbation clip is bad enough, so let's talk about him going to see Jelly the minor, because that doesn't make him sound any better either. Cameron told me that during the Thanksgiving break, he drove up to see family and that Jelly was close by. So he admits he wants to get to the bottom of this and do a documentary. At the time, he knew of all of the extortion, the honeypotting, and the grooming. He also knew that this might have been trained into her by her mother. The reality is we don't really know what's going on there.
Okay.
But either way, he knew about those things. He knew that Dev received...
This dude is like 35, making an expose about a 20-year-old, unless there are charges at least filed. I don't know about this one. Like, what is the age gap? So apparently so the allegations are, I believe, is 19-year-old raped a 17-year-old, allegedly. Okay. And I believe that the problem that is stated isn't the age gap. I believe the problem that is stated is the part where it's supposedly non-consensual. If that makes sense.
Things from Jelly, according to him, based on the timeline of when he would have had those CSAM and masturbation clips. And then, then he tells me this.
Okay.
He's showing screenshots of a literal child on screen. I'm 31. I feel weird watching hit pieces about children. I mean, again, I will say, okay, like, again, I need to see the evidence, okay? I need to see the evidence.
So, when you say it was kind of like a situationship fling thing,
mm-hmm.
I understand it's personal, but what did you do with her exactly?
I don't think... Well, first of all, I know she said I, like, raped her or some shit. That's not true.
You didn't have sex?
I think me choosing not to answer should be an answer for you.
So that's a yes?
Yes, we did.
Okay. That's weird.
Not that we didn't, when we first met, that didn't happen. The second time we met, it, like, kind of just, after, like, talking a shit ton, it kind of just went there. But we wanted to keep it private because we didn't want people thinking some weird shit between like that Alex had any involvement in it, because he didn't. Like my interview with her was very anti-Alex. I can show you that.
Now, that's what he told me back when I was looking into this initially, right? Now, when we call recently, he adds on to tell me that he vented to her emotionally about topics he would not be discussing with a minor. He should not have been discussing the things that he was discussing with me with her.
By the way, minor, I just want to say, like, okay, this discussing stuff I cannot give more of a fuck about because this is a 19-year-old to a 17-year-old, no? Like, this, like, discussing with a minor bit is, like, kind of weird. 19 to 17-year-old, and they had sex. Okay? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Now, I'd love to tell you what Cameron told this minor, but when Cameron told me about the thing, he said that he'd put a bullet in his head if I told the internet that thing. But I can certainly tell you, I wouldn't talk about it at a youth group. I'm not putting it out there. It's, again, kinda on Cameron, but it is bad.
So over that time, you're bonding with her and you tell her, you know, this horrible thing happened to me.
Yeah.
Well, why did you tell her that? Just because you felt comfortable?
Well, we were both talking about, these like situations because we had both just gotten out of that crazy situation, right? And then she was telling me about, things that happened to her, and there was this one specific instance that I was like, damn, that's a hard relate.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of pried a little bit, and it took a while, but then like we just got into a really emotional conversation. But yeah, it just kind of came out there. We were both venting to one another.
So originally when I pressed Cameron on this, he tells me that they have sex, a heat of the moment thing, right? Yes, not only does he just meet up with the minor, he hooks up with her, okay?
Okay. If it's just that, who cares? 19 and 17? Literally, who cares? I don't give a fuck. What the fuck? Okay, we'll see.
Why would you sleep with Anne, dude? Like, she...
It wasn't smart, obviously, but it wasn't planned. Like, I didn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, isn't that literally within the purview of Romeo and Juliet? Like, literally? Like, isn't that, like, perfectly okay? No?
It was kind of like a heat of the moment thing. Me and her were kind of going really deep on the shit that we were dealing with.
Yeah, exactly. They're both kids. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
At that point in time.
Dude, Mrao was calling me a pro-rape. Mrao was calling me pro-rape by not wanting to look into the allegations because I thought they were stupid. Okay, we'll see. We'll see, okay? The fuck? Detergent mode. Okay, we'll see. Okay. What? Okay, I don't know. What did I click?
And I don't know, I guess something just clicked.
Were you guys ever flirty before you met in November?
No.
No? Yeah, because that stream you guys did together, I'm like, kind of looks like they got some romantic chemistry.
You think so? Because we weren't, like, at that point, she had attempted to flirt with me beforehand, but I hadn't reciprocated in any way, shape, or form.
By the way, mate, okay, just letting you guys know, okay, the fact that I'm even covering this at all on my stream should tell you guys something, just mainly because I am biased for the Cameron person because I just had an interview with him, and I'm biased against fpsdiesel because he called me a pedophile. And obviously, like, yeah, like, just FYI, all right, just FYI, of this entire thing, okay, of my biases, yeah. So the fact that I'm even covering this in the first place of a person who calls me a pedophile is like, yeah. I mean, just trying to be good faith, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, it was nothing I was ever planning. I was pissed at her. She is funny to be around, though, and that's what I liked about her. I was definitely becoming a friend, a good friend of hers.
So this heat of the moment passion
What the fuck is happening? Apparently a guy I just interviewed, the guy who made the content cop, he has recently, very recently, he's had allegations brought against him for raping a minor. Major allegations. So, you know, in the interest of being good faith, I guess I'm covering this. What did I miss? Not much so
Sex
far.
happens. And then, not but days later, Jelly accuses him of rape. Then she walks it back, and she lies some more, and lies, frankly, a lot. And to add...
Wait, so she lied about the rape? Wait, what's going on? Wait, which part? Which part is the lie?
even more complexity to this, right? It's a year later, and the iDubbbz content cop is coming out, and Cameron calls me up, and he says, actually, Diesel, just so you know, I actually never had sex with her. I was being blackmailed to say that because if I didn't, she'd tell everyone my top secret thing that I'd kill myself over. Anyway, here's the top secret thing I'd kill myself over. I'm not gonna tell you in detail, but please don't tell anyone because then I'll kill myself. Okay, so get this. You said you had sex with an underage grooming victim of your former boss so your family wouldn't hear about this deep, dark secret. Okay, all right. Which, by the way...
Oh my god, what a crazy framing, okay? I could also, like, frame things like this, right? 2 literal fucking kids, okay, had sex with one another in the heat of the moment because they're fucking stupid kids, right? Like... What am I supposed to say?
If I was in the world's worst saw chamber and I'd had to choose between the grooming victim thing and the secret, I would rather the world know about my secrets than the grooming victim, okay? Now, back when this originally happened, when Cameron told me that they had sex, not but a week later, Jelly says he raped me, and then being there accuses Cameron of things and instantly walks them back, right? It's going back and forth and the lies are flowing like a river. Then in the midst of being accused, Cameron comes to me and says, don't cover Jelly, as if that's at all possible.
She's coming up in the video. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way.
I'm gonna request you don't mention me and her with the honeypot stuff. I don't want anything I've ever sent you used about that. I just
Definitely not me.
no matter what, because it's just I don't think it's cool.
You know, that's a crime, right?
Now, there is an actual reasonable argument for why you wouldn't cover Jelly, right? Now, the reason I covered...
Wait, so Jelly... So Diesel literally admits in this video that Jelly is unreliable, right? Like Diesel literally admits in this video that Jelly is unreliable, no? So why would you trust her? I'm a bit confused.
Jelly is because she played a role in everyone's story. She allegedly taught other minors to allegedly groom pedophiles, and frankly, the case was fumbled from the moment I got there. That's fucking weird. Right? Allie inserting herself and coaching a minor, this minor lying to everybody and being really good at it. And there was just no way that I could tell this story without saying that, yes, there is this person named Jelly and she did these things and she's probably fucking crazy. Now, Cameron also admits to having sex in Discord calls with me multiple times back when this happened. In fact...
Cameron had Discord sex calls with you? I'm kidding.
He also comes on stream with me and beats around the bush about this, playing coy as I'm reacting to his response and really not...
Okay, I feel as though, like, somebody who is 19 or 20 shouldn't be held to standards of how, like, what kind of attitude they should be having in a call, but like I don't know. Maybe he has a case, maybe he doesn't have a case. We'll see. Okay, we'll see.
Buying some of the things that he said in it.
So maybe I'm being charitable here, but the argument...
By the way, I just want to say Mrao absolutely believes that Cameron is a rapist. So, you know, we'll see. He's putting his rep. I am probably pissing I'm maybe or maybe not burning a bridge with Cameron just by watching this. So like this is why I'm like also angry right now, because Mrao is giving me his word that he thinks that the threats are that the whole like sex like this entire thing is credible, right? That Cameron is a rapist who raped a minor or something, right? Meanwhile, like if I watch this on stream, like, and it's not, fuck me, dude. We'll see. We'll see. Where's the grave? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Is
Okay, we'll see.
you're 19.
This is why I'm angry, because like fuck me, dude. Fuck you. Okay.
She's 16. For some people, they say that's
17.
just. I know she's 17 now. When did you have sex with her?
I'm not gonna say whether or not
Oh.
I did.
Oh, really? Are you fucking stupid?
No, Cameron.
You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You said to me, by the way, you watched the video. You said to me in the call that you were traveling to see family for
That was
Thanksgiving.
AI.
It was AI?
That was AI. It
Are you really going to be stupid on stream right now? Because this is not going to be a good look.
was a robot.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. He's doing
Look,
it on purpose.
I'm
Just
working on my
drink.
video right now,
I'm out
and I'm in a really
shaking
goofy
my
mood.
stuff.
So
Discord Sigs is
this
wild.
is I was not,
Cameron,
expecting to be on stream.
you're being accused of a felony, okay? And now
That I
here you
didn't
are
commit.
talking to me about this.
I mean, we're not even sure if he committed a felony in the first place, dude. 19 and 17?
On a stream with like 100 people.
I didn't know this was gonna be a stream. I didn't realize you were streaming.
Did you or did you not watch the video?
I did watch the video. I watched the relevant parts for me. I had to skim through it a little bit.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I
Cameron,
watched the relevant parts.
Cameron,
What
you can
does he
sit
mean?
here and not talk about, right? For people, what I was going to say earlier, for people involved in this, they feel that a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old, which you say she turns 17 in February, which means when you had sex with her, she was 16.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, so now you're just saying her age is just good.
So, okay.
Complete fabrication.
No.
Was she 16 or was she 17? Jesus. Okay, it doesn't, who cares? Okay, I don't know. Okay, that doesn't even matter. 16 and 19 is still, like, it's a little bit weird, but, like, it's still, listen.
That's it? No?
No, I'm not saying her age is a fabrication.
That you hooked up is an alleged, is
I'm
an
saying-
allegation. That's an
the
allegation that
idea
came
that
from
I-
your
The
mouth.
idea that I raped her is an allegation.
Yeah, it is an allegation.
So the response video from Cameron is a lot of things. The response video is a response to all the drama, which he's taken down, by the way. He avoids addressing this whole allegation of them hooking up, right? Instead, discussing the non-allegations surrounding it. You know, things like, hey, did we have sex to Big Dick Randy?
Did I have sex to you?
Why the fuck? Okay, this is like, don't talk to the cops or something, right? Like, like I'm sorry, like, why the fuck would anyone admit to the cops, yeah, I was actually speeding, right? I don't know. We'll see.
While listening to Big Dick Randy?
We did not have sex while listening to Big Dick Randy.
Okay, and you gotta understand here, right? In
Okay, so that's her, right? That's the person who was honey trapping people as a minor, no?
every private conversation, Jelly and Cameron
Hey, Dio, thank you for the $5. Discord sex is wild. Ayo, true. You know what else is wild? Getting your data stolen, okay? That's why I'm sponsored today by aura.com/foodshops, okay? If you ever want your data to be secure and not to have your Discord DMs leaked, especially if your login information is compromised, please use my link below in the description below. That is aura.com/foodshops. You're entitled to a $1 million insurance, okay? In case your data is ever compromised. Think about it. You may face online sex rape allegations, but think about it. You might get a $1 million insurance compensation. Aura also comes with a VPN, antivirus, and automated 24/7 US-based customer support. If you want to support me, and this is one of the best ways you can support me, please go to aura.com/foodshops. Okay, now back to your slot.
That I have access to, they discuss whether or not their sexual encounter is consensual. They never discuss whether the event happened at all. In these private conversations, where it's just them, they both clearly pre-agree that a sexual encounter happened. In a group chat between Liaison Cameron, Jelly, myself, and my head researcher, they both pre-agree something happened. Cameron even elaborates at how it wasn't rape. So what? These private conversations where you're both pretending to have a sexual encounter, have had one, are just you both playing pretend?
He said that you did nothing wrong?
Well, in a legal standpoint.
From a legal standpoint.
So who is recording this? Wait, hold on. I'm a little confused. Wait, who is recording this in this moment? Sometimes you can just try to get answers out of people, like just because you're the one recording and they don't know that you're actually recording.
Standpoint.
I don't know.
I was saying no, and I was scared, and that I didn't want to.
No, just in the sense of us having sex, and that can be argued because once I heard you say stop, I put you down. You were being nonverbal.
Just a drink. A martini, shaken
I
and stirred.
don't
20
think
ppl in chat and only 4 likes. Come on, homies. Like or mom gi.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the $5, Theo. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, let's continue.
I'm telling you.
Also, absolutely true. Smash that like button. All right. Can we get a like for rape with a minor? Okay.
Maybe I wasn't hearing correctly, but I'm telling you that I did not hear the word stop, and until I did, I put you down. And I felt awful because you were like, once you like started like squirming a bit, I felt like
Squirming? You're gonna call it squirming? I was hitting you.
Were you?
What the fuck? Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Wait, okay. So she is trying to. Okay, I don't care about squirming, okay? The squirming shit, I don't care. But hitting, okay? Hitting is like an active sign of resistance, right? Like a defense. Dude, okay, wait, hold on. But then they had a stream afterwards where they were being flirty with each other? How does that make sense? Piece it together, Diesel. Piece it together.
I don't know. Well, obviously I wasn't intending to do something bad to you. And I feel bad about it. But that's between us, and that's not going to be public.
What I'm trying to figure out, okay? What I'm trying to figure out right now is whether or not it was a bad sex experience or it was actually like non-consensual shit, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. It's either a bad sex experience or it's like actual non-consensual shit. We'll see.
What about how I spent like 5 minutes telling you that I didn't want to kiss you, and then you wouldn't let me go?
Haven't we already been over this? Like, you know, I feel horrible about that, and it was only because I wanted to spend more time with you. I wasn't trying to force you to do something.
But you can't just act like you didn't do anything wrong.
That's the first thing I said to you. Like, like you said, I didn't do anything wrong in the sense of like anything illegal, and you know, in regards to the idea of us having sex, and that's all I was talking about. Not that between, and that's why I said obviously between us. I know I made mistakes, and I feel horrible for them because I broke a boundary that I didn't realize I was breaking, and I feel awful.
You didn't realize you were breaking it?
Dude, I feel like if she is recording from her end, and she says some outrageous things, right? Like, oh, I was hitting you. Oh, I was more than just squirming, right? Would, from his end, isn't even whether or not he did it, would his reaction not be this? His reaction would absolutely be, did I? Did that even happen? Right? Which seems to be the reaction that he's giving right now, right? Like I'm saying, like, whether or not he actually held her down, right? Whether or not he actually held her down or something, right? Whether or not that's true, this is a normal reaction to something like that, no?
Me telling you that I didn't want to and that I was scared and not to grab me. That.
See,
Okay.
if you were like, hold on, wait, hold on. Like, obviously, like, after the fact, once I put you down, like, I realized what was happening. Like, there's a reason I put you down.
Because I was hitting you.
You might have been. I personally
Oh no, dude! Why would you say this? Okay, all right, we'll see.
personally don't remember that, but you might have been. I'm
Might
not gonna
have.
rule it out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm genuine when I say I do not remember that.
So, okay, let me get this straight. Which one is better here?
By putting her down, what does that mean? By putting her down, okay. Okay. You ready? You ready for this take? You ready for this take? If she felt like she got raped, she should have told a friend, right? I'm just gonna be straight. Was there any other people that she told this to? There has to be, right? Like, by the time that she realized that she was raped, there has to be people that she told this to, right? That's what I am suspicious of this time, okay? Because I feel as though, all right, if she actually was raped and she felt traumatized by it and she was bothered by it, right? 100% she would tell somebody, no? 100%, unless you're saying that she was some kind of antisocial freak who is a complete neat and had no connections, then I guess too bad, I guess, right? Because in my opinion, when it comes to like these online allegations, these are typically the things that I look for. What if afterwards, because you can't just retrospectively decide all of a sudden when it's opportune to levy rape allegations against somebody, right? Especially if you make a rape allegation and then took it back at some point, right? Because according to FPS Diesel, literally in this video, is it or is it not the case that you said she accused him of rape, she took it back, and then she accused him again of rape? Huh? Yes, you can. I agree, okay? Cess, I totally agree, okay? You can be so traumatized to the point where your mind is boggled and you can't think straight and you're taking back, you're giving forward, you're taking back, giving forward, taking back. Okay. However, I disagree with you only on the basis of the fact that the moment you make this public, it has to be a single, coherent, solid story. Okay? You can't just make it public and then take it back and then make it public and then take it or something like in public, right? You can't just do that in public. If you're doing it in private and you're like confessing to a friend, I understand. Okay? But this is according to FPS Diesel, okay? The moment you make an allegation public, it has to be consistent, okay? Because if it is private and it's inconsistent, I can kind of understand because you're traumatized, right? You're telling it to a friend, you're traumatized in the moment, you don't know how to act, right? I kind of get it, okay? But whatever this is, okay? Whatever this is, I guess I just have questions, okay? That's all I have is questions. What does putting down mean? What is the accurate recollection? Because what it comes off is, this girl is a honeypotter, okay, who is a minor who is a honeypotter, all right? And in my opinion, she does not deserve infinite charitability, okay? You do not deserve infinite charitability if you levy allegations, okay? You don't. I'm sorry. This is just... yeah, I'm sorry. You just don't deserve infinite charitability whatsoever, okay? Okay, we'll see. Maybe the social pressure... yeah, yeah, who cares, okay? Yeah, I mean... if you come in public, it doesn't matter. None of that matters, okay? What matters is what actually happened and how consistent these guys' stories are, right? What matters is number one, the truth. Number two, if the truth is indeterminable, how reliable are the two people that actually knew what happened, which is Cameron and Jelly, right? These two are the only two people that know what happened, and both of them seem to be incredibly unreliable. So if this is the case, you can't determine anything except for the fact that a 19-year-old had sex with a 17 or a 16-year-old. If that is the case, I literally cannot give more of a fuck. Yeah, so you know, we'll see.
Helping Dev via
Okay.
proxy by lying or sleeping with the child he thought was hot, which one is
A child that he thought he was... I'm sorry, was he 20 years old or was he 35 like you? A child that he...
worse?
okay, the fact that FPS Diesel even makes this, like, even describes a situation like this is ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous, okay? That a child that he thinks was hot... dude, there are 2 years in difference.
I mean, both of them you're helping Dev, but both of them are also pretty bad. To further complicate things,
Okay, I'm sorry. Diesel, listen. Maybe it's because of my bias against you, okay? I'm sorry. All right, listen, buddy, you call me a pedophile, all right? You call me a pedophile. That in of itself already tells me everything I need to know about you, okay? In terms of how you frame things, how you frame stories, okay? So yeah, like, this shit's retarded, okay?
in our original timeline, at the same time Jelly was accused
By the way, even though this guy called me a pedophile, I just want to say, even then, I'm trying to determine the story based off its own merits, as if Diesel isn't the one that is telling the story, okay? As if Diesel isn't the one that's telling the story. So, you know, I'm trying to be good faith about this. Context about that? Yeah, sure, since people keep bringing it up. At some point in the past 2 years ago, okay, I admitted that I consumed lolly, and I enjoyed consuming lolly, and that's it. Everybody just spun all kinds of stories down there, okay? And then I got, like, mass canceled by all of commentary and, like, Twitch poll at the time. But literally, like, I personally don't give a fuck. The fact that you would even call me a pedophile based off of that is insane, in my opinion.
accusing him of things. Another woman enters the discourse. Krexa. Krexa's not important. The short and skinny of Krexa is that Krexa tries to portray Cameron as some sort of maniac, which, if I haven't made it clear, Cameron is a fucking idiot moron. There's actually a clear difference between a maniac and an idiot. So, there's that. So,
What? What's the difference?
This is Krexa person who's accusing Cameron of more things, right? So for the sake of your sanity, Krexa is really just this mentally unwell young lady who Cameron had a situationship with. Most of all of it is he said, she said type stuff, okay? Krexa played it off as like a goodwill of Arosana will help her, right? So the anti-Yandere dev community comes in and helps her, and they start a GoFundMe, and then it ultimately ends with Krexa taking the GoFundMe money that was for 2 people and running off with it, okay? Krexa is just a piece of shit who flew onto the story and then flew away like nothing ever happened. So I put out my video, Cameron puts out his response, I grill him on stream, you should check me out, link below, right? And then a month later, those infamous clips of Yandere Dev are anonymously leaked via Cameron to r/Osana, which these audio clips are edited, by the way, and you can hear that there's definitely some conversation cut out, but they're more than damning enough, so it's not like that really matters all that much. I just felt like it was worth mentioning. And also, Cameron would be good at editing audio because he's a sound engineer and he understands these things and he can make music. He knows how to do that, okay? He knows how to use audio. So, okay, that's the story as it stands. Then a year passes, okay? And right before the iDubbbz Content Cop drops, Cameron calls me to say this.
And I think now I can finally explain this. I did not have sex with Jelly. Okay. The reason I said that, the reason I was pressured into saying that, was because she had blackmailed over me over something that happened to me when I was younger, and I didn't want it out. And she was trying to force me into this weird thing. It doesn't matter. I don't care anymore because I have proof of her blackmailing me now. So it doesn't matter. I didn't have sex with her. I wasn't interested in her. I met her to interview her. If you really care, if you care that much, I could prove it.
To which, by the way, this is an incredible claim, right? It's an incredible shift up in the story. And so I start to look into it because it is incredible, thinking maybe I missed something in my calls. And no, I didn't. I go through all my notes and recordings, and there's really nothing that can corroborate his story outside of Jelly being a liar. Now, the sex story is a he said, she said type situation, but remember, he admitted it himself. It's his words against him. Now, Cameron expressed to me he wanted to come back to commentary because he had a fondness for the genre, okay? We've talked about commentary a lot. He follows drama. It's unsurprising that posts from when he was with Dev have started to go missing since I started looking. My video does make him look bad, by the way, by fault of his own actions. I'm not surprised that he wants this video gone. It's a bad look. It's a bad look for somebody wanting to get into commentary to have this kind of thing dangling over you. This puts you in the impossible to defend position of the following. So Cameron had damning clips of Dev either sat on his computer until it was relevant, or us just having to trust you when you've lied in the past.
I literally cannot care more about this Yandere Dev thing, okay? Even if he was hiding the evidence, even if he was like selectively leaking things, like in my humble opinion, during that time, wasn't he like 15 when he joined Yandere Dev's like group? He was 15. He has as much validity being a grooming victim of Dev as Jelly, dude. It's so stupid.
And say that you sent those clips where they needed to go when you got them? I mean, you should be able to prove this really easily via an email correspondence that you had with the department. But is that the case? I don't know. We'll just wait and
I advise Cameron not to engage with this anymore. Not to engage with Diesel anymore. Like this kind of shit, okay? Even when I've only heard his side of the story, and honestly, yes, I agree, okay? He's incredibly inconsistent, and I think that he's lying to me, okay? But even if he was lying to me, there's no shot that Diesel here has his best interests at heart. You should never engage with somebody who doesn't have your best interests at heart here, okay? Like, there's just, it just doesn't matter. Yeah.
see. I'm sure you'll provide it after I put this out.
Like for example, okay, I just want to give you guys, have you guys ever watched like these interviews with detectives and the police, where the police is trying to get as much answers out of you as much as possible, and these interrogators are trying their best to keep you talking? Like they're telling you it's for your own good, and it could exonerate you. That shit's all lies, by the way, FYI, okay? You don't talk to the cops.
But that's not really the most impossible to defend position, assuming you've actually done it. The more impossible to defend position is this. This whole I lied saying I had sex with the grooming victim of Yandere Dev, complicating the story and helping Dev via proxy, or I did have sex with a minor, complicating the story by helping Dev via proxy, and
bro, why the fuck did Diesel just brush over the blackmail claim at the end? Wait, did I miss something, Loki? Loki, just install Discord so then you can just tell me. Oh my gosh.
implicating myself.
It's not hard.
I wouldn't want to be in that position to defend myself. It's kind of really fucking difficult. Listen, I did my work on this story, okay? That video is 3 hours long. I spent months of my life on it.
Oh.
I did my work. I talked to everyone for months, okay? At this rate, it's on you to find these things, not me. And so, we'll see what happens.
What does he?
I thought I was done with.
Wait, hold on. What does he have to show to you? What does he have to show to you? Who are you? Are you the judge? Are you the jury? Who the fuck are you? Wait, what the fuck? I'm sorry, just because you call the cops doesn't mean you are the cops. Just because you worked with the FBI, allegedly, okay? There's no proof for this, right? That's presented to me so far, okay? Just because you said that you worked with the FBI doesn't mean you are the FBI, right? Shouldn't you be leaving this investigation up to them? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Okay. Okay. When he played the small audio of Cameron saying he was blackmailed at the time to say he did have sexual relations or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, okay? Like, in my opinion, like, it's, like, whatever, okay? I think Cameron was lying during that time, and I don't... His account is not reliable, okay? Cameron's account is not reliable either, okay? I just want to say that, okay? Clearly, Cameron is also lying, okay? Jelly's lying, Cameron is lying, okay? The point is, okay, here's what's happening, okay? Let's take the worst case scenario for all situations, okay? Let's go. Okay. So we have a 16, so let's lay the facts playing on the table, all right? That has been proven so far that we're not going to sensationalize this, okay? We're not going to sensationalize this. Let's just put the facts on the table, all right? We have a 19-year-old who hooked up with a 17-year-old, okay? Worst case scenario, she was 16 years old. So we have a 19-year-old who hooked up with a 16-year-old. Pretty irresponsible, pretty bad. Okay, I'm not going to disagree with that. However, they're both 3 years age difference. Okay, so frankly, I don't give a fuck. Okay, considering how we have seniors in high school, literally fucking freshman girls, okay, with a 3 to 4 year age difference, I literally cannot give more of a fuck about this. Okay, however, we have, all right, this is what we have, okay? We have rape allegations, okay? So she turned on the recorder. She has a history of honeypotting for the specific piece of evidence of his so-called confession. He didn't confess whatsoever to any kind of rapey action. It's her accusing him of rapey actions and him understandably making flustered reactions to her based off of that private call that was recorded without his consent, right? So again, all right, we have a known honeypotter whose accounts are unreliable, trying to accusing him during that recorded segment, accusing him where he understandably has kind of like a brain broken kind of moment, okay? And he just, his brain is fried, okay? His brain is fucking fried, obviously, because how else would you react to such crazy shit? Obviously, right? So, after that entire thing happened, okay, this got released to fpsdiesel, in which Diesel then releases in this fucking video, okay? Scumbag, all right? Scumbag, actual scumbag, okay? So there's no proof that he raped. No, there's no good proof that he raped. All right, other than the account of a of two extremely unreliable people. Okay, by the way, in court, this would just get thrown out. Okay, based on how unreliable this is. Okay, it would just get boop. It's out. Okay, just FYI. All right, I'm not a lawyer. Okay, I'm not a lawyer. Okay, however, I'm willing to bet money on this shit that if it's this inconsistent, if it's as inconsistent as fpsdiesel literally claims, it would get thrown out, okay? So, because witness testimony in public, when it's given in public, is always consistent. The best ones are always consistent, period, okay? The best ones are always consistent, period, all right? So, yeah, like this is frankly the best retelling that I can give, okay? Tips were flooding in, apparently, okay. By the way, oh my gosh. Also, let's not skip over the part that she was honeypotting as a minor. She was honeypotting as a... Are we just gonna skip over that shit? That shit's insane. It is bad not because of the number of years between them. It's bad because one of them being not an adult, even 16 and 17-year-old, there's a lot difference in neurodevelopment. So 19 and 16 is bad. That literally does not matter, okay? What I'm talking about is not how developed the 16-year-old is. What I'm talking about is how stupid the 19-year-old or 20-year-old is. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Because somebody who is a 20-year-old does not have the wherewithal, okay, does not have the reasonable and discernible 99% wherewithal to manipulate a situation to their liking in order to have sex with somebody who is younger than them, okay? Somebody who is 30 years old or 35 years old, they have more autonomy and they have more judgment in order to actually manipulate a scenario. I'll give you an example. Let's just say that a 20-year-old who is of sound mind, a 20-year-old girl was manipulated by a 35-year-old, okay, by a 35-year-old, all right, in order to have sex with them, all right? You wouldn't just say, oh, wow, nobody was a minor in this scenario, all right? Everybody was fully neurodeveloped, so therefore, it's perfectly reasonable and it's perfectly okay. I greatly disagree with that, okay? A 35-year-old, a 15-year-old age difference, more than that, right? Somebody who is a 35-year-old actually has the autonomy and knows much better than just being a stupid kid, right? Does that make more sense, Dr. Says? Yes, and being stupid in that case is punishable. Yeah, that's great, okay? But considering how inconsistent her account is, it would get thrown out anyway, okay? The point in the matter here is that, sure, I'm talking a lot about the law here, but even if the law was the case like this, like, let's just say Romeo and Juliet doesn't exist, okay? Let's just say even Romeo and Juliet doesn't, even if it doesn't exist, I think it's stupid, okay? Because people in high school are having kids, not having kids, Jesus. Teen pregnancies are a thing in high school in states where it's not legal to have sex as a minor, all right? Obviously. So I don't even know why the fuck we're talking about this, all right? Yeah, it's stupid. Anyway,